Hey guys, Michael coming back from the Help Tech Show. Recently I just seen this one game, I was just browsing the internet on Facebook, and I noticed Nintendo is basically advertising a new game. This game happens to be called Mario Party The Top 100. Now, what this game is basically dictated to is just bringing all of the best of the Mario Party games that we remember from Mario Party 1 all the way up to 10, and it brings it back into one game. Now, I'm really excited about this, people. I may not look like I'm that excited, but I am actually really excited for this. The biggest problem that I have with this that makes me no longer excited is that it's coming out on the 3DS. Now, I know the 3DS is a pretty capable machine. I know it's got some great graphics in it, nowhere up to what this particular Switch right here looks like, but I will say that it is pretty capable. I've seen some great Mario Party games come off this device. But the thing is, with those games coming off for the 3DS, we've seen that these games that are made from the ground up for this 3DS for Mario Party take advantage of all of, the 3DS's features. The issue is that when this game launched on the 64, it really took advantage of the analog stick. When it came out on the GameCube, it took really good advantage of LNR. When it launched on the Wii, it took really big advantage of motion control. When it launched on the Wii U, it took advantage of the extra screen. The issue here is that when I'm playing this on the 3DS, a lot of these features are not really good, like hardware-wise features are not very good on the 3DS. The analog stick is good on the 3DS, don't get me wrong, but it's not very responsive of what I would expect from, like a controller like this, where I'm going to put dead center palm, my palm right here, dead center in the analog stick and go as fast as I can trying to beat the other guy. I feel like the 3DS isn't going to do this particular analog stick justice, because you're not going to be able to use your palm of your hand, you're going to have to use your finger, and I feel like this isn't going to be fast enough to sometimes beat CPUs on hard. Now, maybe Nintendo has adjusted those CPUs, I don't know, but the fact is, at the end of the day, the 3DS, just based upon what 64 brought to the table, I just feel like it's not going to do very good. The other issue is that some of the GameCube games used both C-sticks and used the analog stick. So we were using two analog sticks, and yes, the 3DS does have two analog sticks, the nub and the particular analog stick. But the nub is not as responsive as what I would want it to be for a Mario Party game. It doesn't really move, it just kind of feels what direction you go, and I don't think that's going to do a lot of these mini games justice. So a lot of these games are either going to be fucking difficult to play through, or they're just going to be cut all together. And I don't want to see a lot of these mini games that I remember playing as a kid completely get taken out because just of the 3DS's, line of what it brings to the table to play these games. And yeah, again, this controller would be the best thing for Mario Party because it has exactly two analog sticks that would work great with the GameCube era of Mario Party. Also, LNR on this thing feels great. The 3DS isn't so bad, but I mean, it's just not as comfortable as what I would want it to be. And when you're playing a Mario Party game that you need to be precise and you need to be hitting those buttons as fast as possible, I just feel like this particular 3DS version is going to basically be really limited based upon buttons and analog sticks and LNR. If we go over to the Wii, yes, the 3DS has, motion control. It can feel what you're doing with the system, but a lot of these games that came out for the, Wii system was basically click or, point and click, point and click, point and click. Those games are going to be completely taken out. But as far as my understanding, the Switch you can point and click. So again, why is this game not coming out for the Switch? I get that the 3DS has a bigger following, this might make Nintendo more money, but I feel like if Nintendo is trying to get people towards the Switch, why wouldn't you bring this out for the Switch instead of the 3DS? I've looked up forums and stuff, and a lot of people agree with me on this. If you're going to be basically taking Mario Party 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that have all came out on consoles, on flippin' TV screens, and you are telling us to go to a mobile platform, that really pisses me off. Now, I know that the Switch is also a mobile platform, but the option is open to go on a big TV screen with all your friends. That couch behind me, get a few friends, have some Pro controllers on hand, and use, you know, something that I think was better designed for these games. Again, I'm not saying the 3DS version is going to be a terrible version altogether. I'm just saying that a lot of these mini games that we remembered playing on, you know, Super Mario 64, or sorry, on the Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii U, a lot of these games are not going to feel like we remember them because of just hardware restrictions at this point. But this is just my personal opinion, guys. The one thing that I'd like to see from Nintendo for this version, I would like them just to move this over to the Switch. Bring out something similar to this, people, but it's on the mobile version of Mario Party. We've had, I think, 4 Mario Party so far for a mobile platform. It might be 3, actually, but, you know, they could grab some great games from those ones, put them together, and use all the functionalities of the 3DS really, really nicely. The DS had a lot of scrolling areas. Those would just come over to the 3DS really, really easily because, you know, the 3DS and DS are pretty similar. A bunch of stages from the 3DS version of Mario Party would come over. I feel like Nintendo could make an awesome game. Leave this one for the 3DS and leave the console side of Mario Party for Mario Party, the top 100, to the console side on the Switch. But this is just how I feel. This is a console, in my opinion, home console. The 3DS is a mobile platform. And the other one issue is that when it comes to Mario Party, you know, 8, 9, and 10, a lot of these features that made these ones stand out from all the rest don't exist in the 3DS very easily to use. There is kind of shaking motions that you can do with the 3DS, but to be able to get the kind of shaking that you're going to want to do, your screen's going to be flipping back and forth, and you might snap your screen completely off. At least with the Switch, you can actually pop these off, and they have motion in them. If you need to do a game that needs to shake, you just go like this, and you can actually shake. And with the 3D rumble in this, I think it would actually feel quite awesome. The other big issue too is because Mario Party 10 was very reliant on touchscreen, and I know the 3DS has touchscreen, but that's not the problem. The biggest problem is that this screen here, and it's pretty close to the Wii U, is in 16:9. So with this said, 16:9 is now the ratios that everybody uses, but for some reason the bottom screen on the 3DS is in 3:4. Meaning that if there's anything on widescreen that's trying to be displayed on that 3:4 screen, it's not going to show up on the sides until like last minute and it comes over. You may have seen it on the, you know, Wii U screen, it was there and you knew it was coming at you slowly, but let's say it's in a situation where it's coming really slowly like this, and let's say the screen starts here on the, you know, DS and it goes like this. The problem is you wouldn't see it coming until last minute. And these games either have to be redesigned to take on the smaller screen, or what they're going to have to do on the 3DS is to basically play the games shrunk down like this and go over like this to get a widescreen effect. You may have remembered back in 2005, you could buy movies that were in widescreen. These were meant for TVs that were in 3:4 to get the perfect widescreen effect, that you wouldn't have issues not seeing everything off the side like everybody else was seeing on a perfect widescreen TV. So this is what the Nintendo would have to do to fix the problem, or the other situation that they'd have to do is to basically use the top screen to see what would be there, and the bottom screen would have to do all the touch screen. But the biggest issue with that particular situation is that who's going to be watching the top screen and the bottom screen at the same time? You just can't physically do it. You're either going to have to find a friend to watch the front, and you deal with the bottom. You have to have a friend say, hey, look, Michael, it's coming in from the side right now, and you bang, hit it, because a lot of these games that came out on the Wii U from Mario Party 10 had a lot of 3 versus 1s. 3 trying to kill you, or you trying to kill them. So having that extra screen size was something that you really needed. And I feel like the 3DS being in a smaller screen size, this way at least, isn't going to do a lot of these games justice for the Mario Party 10 games at least. I feel like, again, a lot of games from Mario Party 8, 9, and 10 are going to get cut because of just simple features that the 3DS is lacking. Again, all you have to do for motion games, and even click games as far as my understanding, because I know that the Wii U can actually, or sorry, that the Switch can actually see you pointing at things. It's going to be able to point and click. It may not be as accurate as the Wii U, but you can. If you need to shake, you have the option. And if you need to shake the device, you can. This is basically a Wii U It has all the features of the Wii U, it's just mobile at this point. So this is personally my opinions at this current moment. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of, mini games coming from Mario Party 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's it. There might be an odd few from 8, 9, and 10, but they're going to be fairly similar to what you expect from Mario Party 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then again, this is just my personal opinion at this point. So my question for you guys today, where would you actually want to see this game? Do you actually want to see it on the Switch like I do? Or do you want to see it actually still coming out for the 3DS? Let me know down in the comment box below. But if you do comment, let me know what system you have, because I'm pretty curious to see that, is it going to come out to a result that the Switch owners are the only ones that are bitching because we managed to get the system and the 3DS owners are in favor of this happening because they can't get a Switch or whatever. I'm curious, but it's going to come down to you guys letting me know down in the comment box below. Again, if you guys enjoyed, like. If you guys disliked, you know what to do. If you guys like what you see, hit the subscribe with the bell item. And if you guys want to check out what's coming for Scary Month on October, I left you guys a trailer to go see what's coming to my channel.